In pre-colonial Nigeria, women played major roles in socio-economic activities and the administration of a state. It wasn't until the 1950s that Chief Mrs. Olufunmilayo Ransom Kuti was appointed into the Western Nigeria House of Chiefs. Chief Mrs. Margaret Ekpo and Janet Mokelu were also both appointed into the Eastern Nigeria House of Chiefs. In 1983, Franca Afegbua became the only woman to be elected into the Senate and the first female senator in Nigeria.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Please sit down.
Now, with the return of the Buhari-led military rule in December 1983, the first formal quota system was introduced by the federal government in the appointment of women into governance. In the early 1990s, 2 women were appointed deputy governors. These were Alhaja Latifat Okunu of Lagos State and Mrs. Pamela Sadauki of Kaduna State. The 1990 transition elections into local government, heralding the Third Republic, saw few women emerge as councillors. In 1992, Mrs. Kofo Bucknor Akirili was the only woman who won a seat in the Senate, while a few more won seats into the House of Representatives, such as Chief Mrs. Florence Itagiwa. In the interim national government of Chief Ernest Shonekon, 2 female ministers were appointed into the cabinet, while the General Abacha administration also had a number of female ministers at various times in his cabinet, including Chief Mrs. Onikepo Akondi and Ambassador Judith Atta.
I, Olusegun Obasanjo,
do solemnly swear
The return of democracy on May 29, 1999 gave hope for a new dawn in the struggle for more participation of women in Nigerian politics. Despite all efforts put in place, Nigeria is yet to meet the 30% and 35% affirmation as contained in Beijing Platform for Action and National Gender Policy, respectively. Since the return of democracy, the Senate has been dominated by men. Only 2.8% representation was attained by women, and out of 130 federal boards of public corporations, only 7 were women. More women were later appointed as special advisors and senior special assistants, permanent secretaries, and special assistants to the vice president. Patricia Foluke Ete is a Nigerian lawyer and politician who served as the 10th Speaker of the House of Representatives of Nigeria from June to October 30, 2007. She was accused of misappropriation of funds to the tune of 620 million naira. Ete later resigned as the Speaker. The story of the 2 Aishas will not be forgotten easily, as both contested the gubernatorial elections in 2019 and 2023 respectively. Senator Aisha Jumai Al-Hassan, popularly known as Mama Taraba, and Dr. Aisha Binani from Adamawa State. Their hopes of becoming the first female governors in their respective states were dashed. Is Nigeria truly ready for a female governor? According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, voter distribution for the 2023 general elections revealed that 44,414,846 registered voters are women, while 49,054,162 were men.
Not a lot of us come out for elections. One, we fear the thuggery part of it. We fear violence. We fear discrimination. But I think once we have enabling environment and we're being encouraged, I think maybe the next election will find women coming out.
The 10th Assembly has witnessed a reduction in the number of women elected into the nation's parliament, and a more gender-balanced parliament is being called for in the National Assembly. In the House of Representatives, only 17 women were sworn in, a slight increase here compared to 13 in the previous House. On August 4, 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inaugurated 45 ministers into his cabinet, and as part of the Federal Executive Council, only 9 of them are female. However, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu swore in 37 commissioners and special advisors with a 22% representation of women.
I, Miranda Mojisola Lasbat, do solemnly swear
In the legislative arm of the state, Mojisola Lasbat Miranda serves as the deputy speaker, while barrister Abimbola Salu Hudei, also a female, is the 19th secretary to the state government. While Nigeria celebrates her 63rd independence, the low participation of women in elective positions is a growing concern.